friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. I have a video idea today that I have been wanting to bring y'all for a while because it's a topic that has just blown my mind. I have a tendency to overlook the absolute obvious, and that is one of the reasons why I absolutely adore the comment section on our YouTube channel. It is so rich with ideas and advice and things that I just have not thought of before. The topic of today's video is going to be how to use your jams and your jellies, your fruit butters, all of those things, how to use them in creative ways besides just slathering it on toast and a biscuit. Let's get started. Welcome to Food Prep Guide. My name is Jordan. I'm a homeschooling mom to 3, living on 3 beautiful acres with my wonderful husband. A health crisis forced our family to change the way we think about food. Unfortunately, it also put us in financial hardship. Thankfully, the solution to both challenges was the same: to live off the land as much as possible. For us, that means growing a garden, preserving the harvest, raising chickens, and cooking from scratch. It's definitely a family affair. And friends, too. Meet Stacy, researcher, author, and lifelong learner. She entered the world of food preservation in the crazy days of 2020. She joined a gleaning co-op, and a local grocer offered her clearance produce in bulk, and so the adventure began. Together, we're reclaiming the old ways of food stewardship and teaching them to the next generation. If there's one thing you should know about us, it's that we love Jesus and seek to steward his blessings wisely. Our table always has room for one more, so y'all come join us. Okay, let me tell you a very quick story about the first year that I really threw myself into canning. One of the most common foods that are water bath canned, I started with water bath canning because pressure canning was too intimidating for me, and I was like, no thank you, let's stick to the water bath canning stuff. So pretty much I was stuck with fruits, jams, pickles, that kind of thing. And one of the most common things is jams and jellies. So that's what I threw myself into the first year, and I canned up all sorts of jams and jellies, put them on my pantry, absolutely loved opening the door and seeing them, and a few months later quickly realized we don't eat a lot of biscuits with jam and jelly on it. And I found myself needing to come up with new ways to use those things. We don't really make pies. And so the pie filling or even like thick jams that I might use on a pie or something like that, that wasn't really an option. We do eat biscuits. We love biscuits. People just don't typically put fruit spread on their biscuits in my family. And so I started researching all the different ways that people used it, and I quickly learned 3 ways to use jams and jellies that I now use almost on a daily basis, but definitely on a weekly basis. So I'm going to share those with you, but also I have ideas that I have gathered from so many of you in the comment section that's just like, of course, that is genius. Why haven't I thought about this before? So thank you for all of you who drop ideas in the comment section. Please continue doing it. Okay. So one of the first things that I found that I use almost on a daily basis is using jams and jellies to flavor oatmeal. Now, jams and jellies, that's just like the category, but let me just show you. I don't mean literally just jams and jellies. For instance, this is peach crushed. It's just crushed peaches. I think the recipe called it a peach topping for like ice creams, pies, that kind of thing, but it's just crushed peaches. Then we do have jams, your blueberry jams, your strawberry jelly, grape jelly. I've got grape jelly here from the store, and also fruit butters. This is pear butter. We have peach butter, we have pear butter, we have blueberry butter. So anything that is essentially a pureed fruit, think about that as a good candidate for anything mentioned in this video. But very quickly, I learned that flavoring my oatmeal, it was a game changer for me because we eat oats almost every morning on the weekdays. Weekends are a little bit special for breakfast, but on the weekdays, especially my children, it's oatmeal. But it can get old fast when you're flavoring it the same way every time. But when you have a whole plethora of flavor options sitting in your pantry in the form of pie fillings and syrups and fruit butters and jams and jellies, you have an almost endless amount of oatmeal toppings and flavorings, especially when you consider how you can mix and match different things like that. So if you have not tried flavoring your oatmeal with any of those things, I highly recommend that. The second thing that I found that I now use on a regular basis is flavoring our yogurt. We started making our own yogurt about 3 years ago and have never looked back. It is so much cheaper, and the reason why it's cheaper is because we go through a lot of yogurt. And so to buy those little containers, or even the little like quart-size containers at the store, we just go through it so fast. So I make a gallon at a time, and I can go longer before I have to make it, and it saves us a lot of money. But everyone likes a different flavor oatmeal, so I keep it plain. When we make it, it's a whole lot easier for me to make plain yogurt anyway. So I just make a full gallon size of plain yogurt. If you're interested in how to make homemade yogurt, I will link that down in the description box as well. We do have a video on the channel for that. Hello doggy, please don't knock my camera over. But the other I just keep it plain, and then I have all of these different containers out that people can use to put into their individual size portion of yogurt when they go to eat it, so it doesn't get flavored until they're actually ready to eat it, ready to serve it. So if you have not done that one, I highly recommend it. The third way that I use on a probably every other of the week basis is muffins. So muffins is another thing that we have, we've pretty much stopped buying most desserts from the grocery store. Every now and then, of course, we're like any other family, we enjoy a good treat from the store. But for the most part, in the grand scheme of things, we have stopped buying any kind of desserty sweets type from the grocery store and just make it ourselves. And one of those is muffins. But just like oatmeal, it is really easy for muffins to become boring because you're just making the same flavors over and over again. But I have since learned that I can work my pie fillings, my jams, fruit butters. I can use those in my base muffin mix, which I believe we have that on the channel as well. It's my sweet quick bread mix. I really need to rename it into my master mix because I use it for pancake batter, sweet quick breads, muffins, cupcakes, you name it. I will link that down in the description box too. But essentially, you would just replace some of your liquid with something like blueberry jam or crushed peaches or blueberry pie filling. Another really fun thing is if you have children, young children or grandchildren, when you use your muffins with jams and jellies and such, it changes the color of the muffin, and those younger children really enjoy biting into a totally purple muffin or a totally pink muffin. It's just fun, and it doesn't have any flavor or food additives. It doesn't have any of those artificial color dyes that we don't use in our kitchen anyway. It's just a really fun treat for them. My kids are getting older and they're kind of out of that phase where it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, blue muffin, what a big deal. But it's really fun besides just the taste and the flavor. Okay, now I want to share some of the ideas that I have gotten from y'all that are just plain genius. Number 4, a glaze on meat, specifically ham, a ham glaze. Of course, that would be delicious. I have never tried it, but I don't have to try it to know that it's going to be delicious. I mean, if you cook, if you're in the kitchen, if you're working with ingredients on a regular basis, you kind of know what goes well together, what wouldn't go well together. This blueberry jam would be delicious as a rubbed glaze on top of a ham. Just genius. So, as a glaze, but also kind of in that category, which is not the next one on the list, but just kind of in that category is a marinade. If you have something, a meat or something that you're going to marinate and you don't mind it having a slightly sweet tang to it, picture pineapple would be really good. Maybe even like a strawberry rhubarb would be really good, especially mixed with a little bit of barbecue sauce. Oh, that would be awesome on chicken breasts. I mean, just the possibilities are endless. So a glaze on meat or even as a marinade on meat, excellent use for those jams and jellies. Number 5 on the list, absolutely genius, is salad dressing. We already make our own salad dressings, and we have a video on that on the channel as well, my top 5 favorite flavors, but I have never thought about putting anything fruity into them. And this is just a really excellent idea because that fruity flavor, which I've had raspberry vinaigrettes, I mean, who hasn't had some kind of fruit or berry vinaigrette before? It's delicious. Why haven't I even thought about that? So you just pick your oil. We use avocado oil and olive oil in our house. Add a splash of a vinegar. We love red wine vinegar. That's our favorite when it comes to salad dressings, but apple cider vinegar works well too, or even just your white distilled vinegar is going to work as well. any kind of seasonings that you want, and then put a plop of blueberry jam or strawberry jelly or something like that, and have a fruit vinaigrette salad dressing. Genius. Okay, next one is popsicles. Now I have done this one before, but I just didn't think about it when I was kind of coming up with different ways to use what's in my pantry. You can make really delicious popsicles by just freezing your yogurt, but flavoring your yogurt first. So we already make our yogurt, we make yogurt popsicles. Why not add in blueberries to make blueberry popsicles? Why not add in some peaches to make peach popsicles? It's just genius. Throw those in some molds, put those in the freezer, and you have an excellent treat in the summertime that you can make all different kinds of flavors of, so nobody in the family gets bored with it. Okay, next, and I think this is the last one, and that is thumbprint cookies. I'm sure y'all have had thumbprint cookies before, but just in case anyone hasn't heard of thumbprint cookies, it is essentially just a sugar cookie recipe that you picture your thumb and you press it down. But I do, when we make thumbprint cookies, we make the well a little bit bigger, like a hole in the center of the cookie, doesn't go completely through, but just enough of a little cup, and then put a little dollop of jam, and then you can actually have one batch of thumbprint cookies that is flavored 4 different ways, because you can fill some of them with blueberry jam, you can fill some of them with peach topping, you can fill some of them with strawberry jelly, and have one batch of cookies that's flavored all different ways. Such a great idea. Thank you all for sharing ideas. I want to continue bringing those ideas to y'all. If you continue to have excellent ideas and want to share your genius with me, please do. Drop your comments in the comments in below. I read them all. Okay, that's all for today, and we will see you next time. Bye.